Alright, this is just a quick demo on rendering. A couple people are still having issues with it. So I have a After Effects project going on here, just a simple lower thirds kicking out over top of a previous video. So I want to file, export. The two things that I would be interested in doing are adding to Render Queue or Adobe Media Encoder. Yes, I could export it as a Premiere Pro project, but then I would still have to take it into Premiere Pro and render from there. And Maxon Cinema 4D exporter, yeah. We're not going there into the 3D aspect of Cinema 4D this month. So first, let's add to Render Queue. This is not the preferred method. This is what your default should say, is best settings, lossless. And we want to make sure where it says output 2 that we give it a name so we can find it. Demo on rendering.mov. It's going to be by default an MOV, which is fine. It could, if you're on a Windows machine, you might get AVI, which is fine also. It's not a big deal because both can be exported. There are some additional rendering settings here, but we have to go in and play with them a little bit to find them. If I click that, I can come over here and I get some options. The only one of these that works for us for what we're trying to do is going to be QuickTime. The others are not video files. Okay, so I'm going to, and the reason I'm here is I want to kick my audio off. It's the only thing I'm changing, simply because I've got a voice track that I don't want. Okay, once that's done, I hit render, and it will take just a minute or two to render it. Okay, it's now finished rendering. It made a little sound, which I didn't open up in time for you to see. It is now a QuickTime movie, and I can share it. The preferred method, though, is to use the Media Encoder, file, export to Adobe Media Encoder. It sometimes takes it a few minutes to get over there, and if you do not already have Media Encoder activated, it's going to take even longer. And apparently I didn't already have Media Encoder open. So let me pause this for just a second while we wait for it to open. All right, so this has been coming to Adobe Media Encoder for us. We see it over here. It's comp 1, because that's the name of the comp that I exported. See it back there. I want to make sure that this goes out at H.264, so under System Preferences, I'm going to go into H.264. Even under that, we see some presets. The nice thing here is we have lots of options that we can use. We want to, if I click the presets, you see there's some old presets on here where I was seeing how tightly I could compress some things, but we see a lot of presets. 1080p is just fine. Again, you can just hit H264 if you haven't screwed up your presets all over the place by generating a bunch of other presets that you've never cleared off. Okay, so high quality 1080 is fine. I've kicked them both out, and I want to give them a file name. Where am I? To the desktop, and demo on rendering. Save. Okay, if that's all good, I can hit this, and yeah. Okay. That should be good to go. Anyway, this is going to give me an MP4, which is the preferred method. We prefer the H264 compression. And it took 5 seconds. Let's get 26 seconds, so it is in the process of rendering. I'll go ahead and pause and join you back here in just a second. Okay, it's kicked out. We can go to our desktop, open up our Finder window. And there's my After Effects project, my MOV, and my MP4. Okay, so that's how we go about rendering, and you will want to make sure that you send the MP4 MOV, or like I said, if you kicked out an AVI instead of a MOV, that's Windows default, and so yes, we can use that, and yes, I can open it because I have QuickTime, so I can open foreign files. Alrighty, sounds good. Hope that helps.